guys, so today I thought I would do something that I have been thinking about doing for a really long time, and that is kind of doing something sort of like a book club. So if you've never been on my Goodreads page or profile or whatever before, then you wouldn't know that I have a really high book reading challenge set for myself, and I think I've read like 4 books this year, which is kind of pathetic. It's kind of sad that I've only read that many books this year, but I really want to read more, so I figured how about I pick like 6 or so books and we can all kind of read them together and talk about them, and yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So basically what I'm going to do, I've picked out 6 books that I think would be fun to read in the next maybe 6 weeks or so, and then I will maybe talk about them on my Instagram. I'll do like a little review of them, and we could talk about them. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And so I will leave like the list of books down below. I'll leave like the dates and everything down below when we're gonna start the book and end the book and whatever, and when I'm gonna post and stuff like that. So that'll be so much fun. I'm so excited to do this. So let's get into looking at the books that I have. So the book that I thought that we could start off with is Since You've Been Gone, and this is by Morgan Matson, and this is just a really cool book. It's basically this girl's friend goes missing, or like she just kind of disappears one day, and it's her entire family. She doesn't know where she is. She had no, she didn't tell her or anything, and her friend leaves behind this list of things that she wants her to do, and just to kind of get her out of her shell and stuff. So I think this is a really good summer book, and I'm super excited to read it. I love Morgan Matson. She wrote Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, and that was a great book. I read that one last year and it was so good, so I think that this is going to be a good place to start off with in our little book reading challenge club thing. The next one I really am excited about is Sophie Kinsella's Finding Audrey, and this is a book about a girl who has like social anxiety and is kind of just, you know, reclusive and doesn't want to go outside and talk to people and whatever, and so she is working with a psychologist or a whatever, and she is helping her to come out of her shell and kind of get back into the real world and get back out of her house. So if you've never read anything by Sophie Kinsella, then you're really missing out. She wrote all of the Shopaholic books, and those are amazing. So if you like those, then you'll definitely like this book. This is her like one young adult novel, and most of these are going to be young adult, so just so you know, so you're not like, you know, confused or whatever, these are mostly going to be young adult books. So the next one is You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, and I've had this book I feel like for a really long time and I haven't even gotten around to reading it, so I'm super excited to start this one. So this will be our 3rd book. I don't really know much about what this is about. I think her mom either is missing or murdered or dead, or they don't know what happened to her. I think it's kind of like White Bird and the Blizzard. If you've ever seen that movie, it's such a great movie. Shailene Woodley, it's so good. But I think it's kind of like this. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to that. Mostly for the books that I like to read, I like to go into them without reading the back cover, so you know, I usually don't know what it's like totally about. Like I'll kind of skim it and kind of like get the gist of it, but I think that's what the gist of this book is. So, I mean, we will see once we start reading it. I'm super excited. The next book is The Reluctant Ers by Ibbotson, and this is one of my favorite writers. I've only read, I think, 1 or 2 of her other books, but she's really great. This is more of a historical fiction, period fiction sort of novel, but it's still young adult, so that's good. And her books are just so beautiful and romantic and interesting, and I think this would be a great book for summer, so I'm super excited. Her books are mainly set in like the early 1900s, so they're not like super far back. I think this book is set in like 1913 or, oh no, 1920s Austria is where this is set. So I'm super excited to read this book. The other book I've read of hers is A Countess Below Stairs, which was so good. So good. A lot of her books deal with things like higher class people kind of being put into these situations where they have to be lower class, or they have to, like, they're out of their element in whatever class section that they're in society, and a lot of them have like deal with sort of revolutions and things like that. So I'm super excited about this book. I think it's been great. I love historical fiction, so yeah, I hope you guys like this one too. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really good book. The next one is Then We Came to the End by Joshua Ferris, and this is actually a contemporary adult novel. So it's not going to be like the other young adult novels that I've shown. I think also Where'd You Go Bernadette is also a contemporary adult fiction. I don't know. I think it is. Anyway, so this one is kind of, I think it's kind of like Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, or it's like The Office. I think it's kind of a mixture between both. So I'm really excited to read this. I really like sort of more like dry humor adult fiction novels, kind of like Dave Eggers novels. So I'm hoping that this is kind of like that, but I have really high hopes for it because I read the first page and it sounds really good. And so I think that a lot of people will like this book. And yeah, I think it's gonna be good. The last book that I have is The Glittering Court by Richelle Mead, and I actually have a signed copy. I got it from Target, which is so cool. So this book I think is kind of more like, I don't want to say The Selection. It's kind of like this, I don't know, I think it's kind of like The Selection and that other book. Like the Assassin book. I can't remember what it's called. Oh my god. I don't remember what it's called, but I will insert it here somewhere. I will put it in like a little thing down below, but you know what I'm talking about. It's that, oh, it's that book. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I am super excited for this book. Richelle Mead wrote like the Vampire Academy novels, so I've never read any of those. I've never read any of her books before, but I was super drawn to this one because I'm like, ooh, this is kind of, oh, like the Ring and the Crown, or like, there's some other novels that I'm thinking of that I can't remember the names of. But they're kind of like those. It's very young adult. It might be dystopian, it might be more fantastical historical fiction sort of deal, but I'm super excited about it, and I think it's gonna be such a fun book to read, you know, like to just kind of wrap up this book reading session that we have going on. So I'm super excited to read this one. I just keep saying that. I'm really excited to read these books, mostly because I haven't read like a full novel in so long. Like, I've been starting books but then not finishing them and starting a different book. So I'm really hoping that this is gonna help me to kind of keep me on track and, you know, just like reading more novels, because I need to do that. Like, I've read a few of like these books right here, which are not novels and they are non-fiction, but I'm a really big fiction fan. Like, I usually don't even bother with non-fiction. So I don't know what's been going on, to be honest, but super excited about these books. So if you would like to join in on my book reading challenge, or whatever this is going to be called, I don't really know what I'm calling it yet. If you want to join in, just join in. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram or Twitter, subscribe to me here, and just, you know, let's start conversations about books. I think that'll be super fun. And if you have a Goodreads, and if you are, you know, striving towards a reading goal, or even if you don't have a Goodreads and you don't like reading but you kind of want to get into it, this is going to be a lot of fun, I promise. So with that, without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I will see you guys next Sunday, and I will see you guys on Instagram, and I will be talking about these books and posting about them, and I hope that you guys join in with me. It'll be so much fun. Bye!